Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Kwanawath with the Great Millstone Charlotte Camp, coming with another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And this morning, I wanted to just, touch on the downfall of Babylon the Great, man. Right? We're seeing this place decay in front of our eyes, and that word decay, goes into the decadence that this place has been existing in, man. Right? But now, as you can see by the title of this article, man, it says the U.S. is becoming a developing country on global rankings that measure democracy and inequality. But like it says, this place is becoming a developing country, man. Babylon the Great, the once proud nation, the once pride of the world, is becoming a third world country before our eyes, man. Right? Through the decadence, man, through the debauchery, right? Through all these the liberty that the people have been able to partake in. This place is beginning to decay and to fall, man. Right? As people say, it's circling the drain, man. Right? It's on a continual downward spiral, and there's no coming out of it, man. And it's all through prophecy. It's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's leading to the downfall of this place, man. And which is ultimately going to culminate in that nuclear fire that's going to completely wipe this place off the earth. But before that, we're going to see this place, hit new lows, man. Now let's go read this article real quick. It reads. The U.S. is becoming a developing country on global rankings that measure democracy and inequality. It reads, the United States may regard itself as a leader of the free world, but an index of development released in July 2022, this article is from last year in September. It reads, places the country much further down the list. And that's the pride of these Americans, man. They think they're first in everything, but they're really middle of the pack or below. It says, in its global rankings, the United Nations Office of Sustainable Development dropped the United States to 41st worldwide, down from its previous ranking of 32nd. And it's going to keep going down. This is 2022, right? This year, whenever they make the list, I'm sure America might be in 60, But it's just the continual downfall of Babylon the Great, man. People understanding, what this place has done and how they're responsible for a lot of the majority of the problems on the earth, man. Right? So now we're seeing, all these things taking place, and Babylon the Great is starting to crumble underneath it all, man. It says, under this methodology, an expansive model of 17 categories or goals, many of them focused on the environment and equity, the U.S. ranks between Cuba and Bulgaria. Both are widely regarded as developing countries, right? And America's about to start, falling down that list, man. It's gonna be a crash course, or a crash. It's like not a crash course, but it's gonna be a fast crash, to the bottom, man. Right? They're gonna be in the third world country region, man. Right? They're gonna be in that hundreds, 110s. As far as the rankings go, man. But that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the downfall of this place. Now, this was last year, and it says also concerned. The U.S. is also considered a flawed democracy according to the Economist Democracy Index. Now, if you look at this real quick, it goes into the index, and it says full democracies, flawed democracies, hybrid regimes, and authoritarian regimes. And America is quickly going to turn into one of those authoritarian regimes, man. As you see this place begin to crumble, we're going to see, Babylon the Great turn into what's it called? A dictatorship, man, of sorts, right? And that's how they're going to push forward, those the MOTB, because when it says he causeth, that means he's doing this thing, in the legislation, man. He's gonna make it mandatory for you to take this thing, right? He frameth mischief by law, as scriptures say, right? So this it's quickly going to turn into an authoritarian regime, so that they can control the people, man. So like, now let's go back because I'll get back to oh yeah, because this is part of the problem right here, man. You know, uh, just just America being in that proud state, but as you can read by this article, it's homelessness is at an all-time high in Babylon the Great, man. Now, just to touch this real quick, just comparing them to these third world countries, right? Because Babylon the Great has the pride, as if it's untouchable, as if this is the place to be. This is where you want to live your life out. This is where you can live your dreams, so to speak, right? But like it reads here, it says homelessness in America is a pressing crisis that can be difficult to document. The same pandemic conditions that ravaged the economy and disproportionately in fact impacted the most vulnerable kept the government from accurately counting those left without shelter. Following a period of limited data, the Department of Housing and Urban Development recently completed its first comprehensive annual homelessness assessment report in 2 years. It found that nearly 600,000 Americans are unhoused on any night. 600,000, man. To put it in perspective, that it's 100,000 people they say that are homeless in California right now, man. And you see the state of what's going on out there. So, you with the Skid Row and things of that nature. But this is just the fall of Babylon the Great, man. 600,000 people are homeless right now. And a lot of these people have jobs. It's a lot of people working full-time jobs and they get off of work and then go sleep in the tent at night, man. So this is the state of Babylon, man. This is the result of the wickedness that they push throughout the earth. That decadence, that's causing the decay of this society, man. Whether it be morally, we see it in the financial sector now. The minds of the people. All these things are starting to decay, and it's leading to the downfall of this place, man. Right, and it's all prophecy. Now I got one more article I wanted to get. Because this is what sparked it for me. This is from March 29th, a couple days ago. And, we've seen, the chemical warfare that Esau Edom is taking part in right now, right? And in these train derailments, dropping hazardous chemicals all over the country and poison in the water. Now, this article reads, water contamination. Is America still a first world nation? And the answer is no, man. This place is, as brothers say, it's a third world country with a Gucci belt on, man. Right? It's a third world country with a Nike Tech suit on. Right? It looks nice, but it inside is decrepit and destroyed, man. Right? Just read this real quick. And Lord willing, I remember put these articles in the description box. But it reads, America is deteriorating so quickly. And the Lord is making a speedy riddance, right? It says that it is hard to consider it a first world nation due to the lack of clean drinking water. There was a massive chemical spill in the Bristol, PA on Friday. Officials failed to make an announcement until Sunday afternoon. Numerous people have sent me links saying they first learned about the chemical spill through TikTok and not traditional media. Over 1.5 million people in the Philadelphia area call the Philadelphia area home, as it is the sixth largest city in the United States. The city sent out a mass text on Sunday, but the surrounding areas were not informed. At this time, the government is doing absolutely nothing to help. And this is what we're seeing, man. This place is, like it says, America is deteriorating quickly. And it says it is hard to consider it a first world nation due to the lack of clean drinking water. So now the water is poisoned. The food is poisoned. We already know that. The food been poisoned with GMOs and whatnot. The people's minds are poisoned. They're pushing all these wicked agendas, whether it be the maps, whether it be the trans, whether it be the LGBTs, all this stuff, is causing the decay of Babylon the Great, man. Right? So now the only thing left that's holding this place up is the military might. But now these other nations are building up their arsenals as well. So Babylon the Great is like we read in that first article, man. It's quickly falling down the ranks, man. And this place is done, right? Now, let's hit the scriptures real quick. Start here at Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, death and destruction, sorrows, right? It says it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not, because the Israelites have been, trapped here, man. We're still in captivity. If you didn't realize, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, West Indians, you are still in captivity, and you are the Israelites, man. You are the prey, that that Babylon the Great has had in its grasp, man. It says the noise of the whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. And this is all the hustle and bustle of the cities, man, right? The financial sectors, the what's the word? The abundance, the commerciality of Babylon the Great, right? It says the horseman lifteth up. It's like the horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses, because it's going to be great death brought upon this place, man. And that glittering spear goes into, the nuclear missiles, as well as the weapons, the guns that are in this place, man, that are going to be bringing great death as well, right? So all that, like I said, all that noise of the whips, the rattling, the hustle and bustle of the city, all that stuff is about to be put to a stop, right? It's gonna be complete silence out here. All you're gonna hear is screams and gunshots out here, man. And teeth of wild beasts, people getting ravished, all these things. It's gonna be, like I said, they stumble upon their corpses, man. And that's what's coming. Like, we're seeing the downfall of Babylon the Great, and it's gonna continue to hit rock bottom, man. Right? And this is what's going to be happening when it hits rock bottom. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, the multitude of the whoredoms is all these wicked philosophies and ways that they push upon the earth, man, that they push to all these nations. It says, which the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts, right? Because they have all these places basically in indentured servitude, man. Basically they're completely subjected over to Babylon the Great. But now we're seeing these nations start to rise up, whether it be the BRICS nations, with what was it, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and then whoever's joining underneath them. I think Argentina, it might be South Africa as well. But all these nations are starting to rise up against, NATO, EU, that the beast system, and Babylon the Great, being that whore that rideth upon the beast, man. They're rising up against them because they've been sold through these whoredoms. They've been sold through these witchcrafts, man. It says, behold, I am against thee, right? Like it said in the, what's it called? The NLT. It says, I am your enemy. So the Lord he has a controversy with this place, as you read, man, right? It says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame, right? Because they pulled that veil off, and you see, the scars and the boils and the disgusting nature of Babylon the Great, man, right? Everything that they've been portrayed as across the world, the reality is being shown to the people, man. Right? This place that was pushed as what's the word? The land of the free, home of the brave, is far from it, man. Right? And all these nations are starting to see that. That's why they come here, they get their money, and they get the fuck on out, man. Because they don't want to get caught up out here. Right? They get their shekels and they head back to their countries, man. Because their countries are in a better state than Babylon the Great is right now. You know, as we read, homelessness, they're falling down the ranks as far as the democracy goes. They're falling down the ranks as far as the favorable living conditions, right? The poison in the water, the quality of the food is gone to shit. I mean, everything that you see happening, you know, is being broadcast to the rest of the world as well, man. So they're starting to see the nakedness of Babylon the Great, man. And they, as well as the things that Babylon has done, you know, to disenfranchise these other nations, man. Right? Because they ultimately, you know, Esau was blessed with the sword, so he was blessed to be able to take over the earth through means of death. But this is all being exposed, man. Right? And chiefly what they did to the Israelites. Verse 6, it says, I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. Right? Because America is that spectacle, right? That laughing stock. You know, that's what they are now, man. People don't fear America the way they did before because they see her for what she truly is, man. That whore, right? It says, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Nineveh is laid waste, man. This place is about to be laid waste. You know? That's what we're seeing happen to Babylon the Great. They're being laid waste. It says, who will bemoan her? Whence shall I see comforters for her, man? You know, who's going to come save this place? Nobody. Because the Lord has it set for this place to be destroyed, right? He's allowing it to reach peaks of wickedness that the earth has never seen. And then he's quickly causing it to decay and fall in a rapid fashion. And then ultimately it's going to culminate in that nuclear missiles being shot on them by these other countries, man. Right? You know, the 10 horns will hate the whore, right? Now, let's jump down to verse 19. It says, you know, because we're seeing this place be destroyed. We're seeing the decadence of Babylon the Great have its, basically ravishing the people, man. Right? You know, because it's causing everything to decay and fall to pieces, man. You know, everything that was once great, so-called, about this place is destroyed, right? And, you know, it's all at the hands of Esau Edom, man, because this man can do nothing, you know, but still kill and destroy, as scriptures say, right? And so all he can do, you know, actually, let's get that in Isaiah 26 real quick, just to, you know, make that point. Isaiah 26 and 10. It's Isaiah 26 and 10. It reads, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Right? So this is Esau Edom to a T, man. He cannot learn righteousness. And that's why we see this place in the decrepit state that it's in. You know, they ain't been in power but for what? A few hundred years, you know, and they've destroyed a whole continent. Like that's what Esau Edom does, man. You know. Now let's go back to Nahum, and this, you know, it's all prophesied. You know, you go into Genesis 20, I think it's 27th chapter. You know, where Esau was given the fatness of the earth, but he was given all that, and he fumbled the pack, as brothers say, man. Salakia. Nahum 3 and 19. This is Nahum chapter 3 and verse 19. And it reads, there is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap at the hands over thee. For upon whom hath thy wickedness passed not? It's like, let me start from the top. There's no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hand over thee. For upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually? Right, and then like the scriptures talk about, he smote the nations with a continual stroke. Right, it's been a non-stop wickedness from Esau, Edom, man, and they've been using Babylon the Great as that whipping stick, man. Right, and now we're starting to see the wound, the bruise, right, and it's grievous. Right, this thing is a cancer that is terminal, man. You know, it's a terminal disease that is ultimately going to end in the death of Babylon the Great, man. Right? Let's read here in the NLT. It reads, there is no healing for your wound. Your injury is fatal. Man, all who hear of your destruction will clap their hands for joy. And that's what, that's what the nations are about to do, man. But now they don't understand that they're going to be, put in subjection underneath the Israelites, through Yahweh Shai. But, they're still going to clap because this man of perdition, this wicked man, is going to be taken out of power, man. Right? Was it Proverbs 29:2? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, man. Right? So they're in mourning right now. But when this man gets taken out of power, they're going to rejoice, It says, where can anyone be found who has not suffered from your continual cruelty, man? Continual cruelty. This man has ruled the earth in cruelty, man. Right? And that's why we're seeing it, fall the way it is. And that's why nobody's coming to help this place, man. They're watching them stumble and fall, and they're just going to let them continue to fall until they hit the bottom, man. Right? Until their ultimate destruction. Right? That's why we're seeing the Babylon the Great. People are realizing this place is no longer, the pride of nations, man. This is no longer the place to be, right? It went from the first world country, the model of excellence, so called, to this place is a third world country now, man. Right? But it just has the facade of success around it, Now let's go to Jeremiah 51. Just real quick, just to hit that point, and then we'll close out with that. This is Jeremiah 51, and I'll start in verse 7. It reads, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken for wine, therefore the nations are mad. So all these philosophies, that's that wine that Babylon has spread. As we read, they continual cruelty, man. That's cruel to spread this wickedness across the earth, man. Right? Woe unto him who give his neighbor drink so that he may see his nakedness, roughly paraphrasing, right? And that's what Babylon the Great did, right? He spread all this wickedness, all these off ways to the whole earth. And now the nations are furious, man. The nations are enraged because they're seeing the result of this thing, man. And now they're seeing that, Babylon the Great is starting to fall, man. America, the progenitor of all these ways, is starting to crumble. And they don't want that for their nations, man. But they've already partaken of these things. That's why they're coming against America so feverishly, man. Right? We see, the way that, just going back, man, the way that they've been poisoning the water, the way they've been poisoning the air, the way they've been poisoning the food, they've been poisoning the minds of these people. Everybody is a goddamn mo or trans. These women think that they're over the men. All these things that is what Babylon the Great is pushing on the rest of the earth. And the nations are mad, man. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. And that's what we're seeing, man. We're seeing the sudden fall of America. It says, howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. But she got that fatal wound, man. That grievous wound, that bruise, that can't be healed, right? Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up to the skies. Let me read that in the NLT. It reads, we would have helped her if we could, but nothing can save her now. It's a fatal wound, man. This bitch is bleeding out, right? And the nations are just watching and recording with their phones, man, right? It says, but nothing can save her now. Let her go. Abandon her. Return now to your own land. And that's what they're doing, right? They're coming in. They're getting what they can off America, and then they bouncing, man, right? It says, for her punishment reaches to the heavens. It is so great it cannot be measured, man. And that ultimate punishment is going to be that nuclear fire, man. But as we saw, this place is deteriorating into a third world country, man. You know, before the eyes of all the nations, before the eyes of the people, before the eyes of the world, man. And it's all prophecy, man. It's all at the will, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that these things are happening, man. You know, this place has to be completely uprooted, right? But, hey, you know, I pray that lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, I want to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. A Kwam Yasharala and Abad Babal, man. A DTA soon. Hey, we almost home. Shalom.